Hello, I'm Kate Eden from Eden Consultancy Services. Today I'm going to talk about reconciling with your parents or grandparents. Perhaps you haven't always had a good relationship with them. Just because that we're related to somebody doesn't necessarily mean that we get on. And maybe some really bad things have happened in your past that you're resentful of or feel upset about, and you're finding it hard to actually connect with your relatives. This was something that was told to me by an old Aboriginal lady, and it really affected me powerfully and improved my relationship with my grandmother. So, my grandmother wasn't a very nice person. She was actually really quite mean, and I would go and visit her, and she would say really nasty things, particularly about my mother, and I didn't like her at all. And I was supposed to go and visit her this day, and I was whinging to this old Aboriginal lady about it. And she really took me to task quite sternly. And she said to me, "Your grandmother carried your mother in her womb and suckled her at her breast and changed her nappies and looked after her when she was a child so that she grew up, so that she could have you as a baby. And if it wasn't for your grandmother, you wouldn't be here. And it's not up to you to judge her because you're the younger and she's the elder. And she holds the wisdom of the tribe that was given to her. And now you have an opportunity to have more wisdom. And therefore, you should just acknowledge and respect your grandmother because she is your ancestor. And through her, you connect to all of your ancestors back to the dream time. And it's up to you as the younger one to show her respect and look after her in her old age. You don't have to like her, you just have to respect her." And I was really confronted by that because I neither liked her nor respected her. But what she said was absolutely true. And next time I went and visited my grandmother, I was really powerfully struck by her body. And I was looking at her thinking, she carried my mother in that body. She created my mother. And then my mother was born and she looked after her. And then my mother had me. And my blood is her blood. And it was a really profound thought, and it made me quite uncomfortable because I didn't really like her. But then I sort of transcended that because it was more than whether I liked or disliked or what her opinions were or what she said. It was actually about blood and the bloodline running back down through the years. And so I was really able to change my attitude towards my grandmother. And I didn't particularly ever come to like her. I certainly came to respect the fact of her life. And I changed our conversations away from being her opinions and the mean things that she used to say. And I became actively interested in her life. And I asked her a lot, particularly about how she met my grandfather and what it was like to give birth to my mother and how it was like raising her as a child through the Depression. And at the end of the day, finally on her deathbed, I said, "I love you, Nan." And she would never say anything back my entire life. And then on that final moment, she said, "I love you too, Kate." And then not long afterwards, she died. So I hope that you can use this story to be able to find a way to view your blood relatives, particularly your mother and father and your grandparents, a little bit differently, and to just find in yourself the ability to be grateful of the fact that because of them, you exist here today.